Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to take you on a fascinating journey through history. Today, we'll explore a compelling topic: famous historical figures who were Freemasons and what they achieved. The subtitle: Presidents, Kings, and Freemasons, History's Hidden Hand, hints at the influential leaders who, behind the scenes, may have been part of this secretive brotherhood. Over the next few slides, we'll uncover stories of powerful figures, their accomplishments, and the possible connections to Freemasonry. So, let's dive in and discover how this ancient organization may have shaped the course of history. Welcome to Slide 2. Here, we begin our exploration of Freemasonry by looking at its role in history and society. We'll start with an introduction to what Freemasonry actually is: a fraternal organization with roots that go back centuries. Then, we'll examine how many world leaders have been associated with Freemasonry, highlighting its influence at the highest levels of power. We'll also explore some of the most influential Freemasons throughout history and how their beliefs and networks may have shaped events. Moving forward, we'll consider the impact Freemasonry has had on society, whether positive, like promoting charity and moral development, or more controversial. Of course, with any secret society, there are debates and controversies, which we'll touch on to provide a balanced view. Additionally, we'll look at the legacy left behind by notable Freemasons, how their ideas, actions, and connections continue to influence us today. To bring these ideas to life, we'll review case studies of some particularly notable Freemasons, giving concrete examples of their contributions. And finally, we'll wrap up by reflecting on the idea of the hidden hand in history, how Freemasonry might have subtly shaped the course of events, often behind the scenes. Throughout this presentation, our goal is to uncover the fascinating ways Freemasonry has intertwined with history and society, helping us better understand its lasting influence. Welcome to our third slide, where we begin to explore the fascinating world of Freemasonry. Here, I want to introduce you to the basics of what Freemasonry really is. It's a centuries-old fraternity that focuses on moral development, personal growth, and brotherhood. At its core, it's about bringing people together to work on self-improvement and to promote ethical values. You'll notice that this slide highlights the name of the organization and the version we're discussing, V10, indicating this is an introductory overview. We'll be delving into its history, principles, and what makes it unique as we progress. Understanding Freemasonry is key because it connects to broader themes of community, tradition, and personal development that run throughout this entire presentation. So, as we move forward, keep in mind that this is not just about secret rituals or ancient symbols, but about a shared pursuit of integrity and enlightenment. Let's explore what Freemasonry really is. At its core, it's a fraternal organization that has roots going back to the late 1500s and early 1600s, when local groups of stonemasons formed guilds to support each other and pass down their skills. Over time, these groups evolved into a broader organization that emphasizes moral values, personal growth, and community service. They use allegory and symbolism to teach important lessons, fostering a strong sense of brotherhood among members. Now, moving on to the principles and beliefs that guide Freemasonry. It's built on the ideas of brotherhood, integrity, and moral uprightness. Members are encouraged to grow personally, practice charity, and seek truth in all aspects of life. The goal is to contribute positively to society, all while creating a welcoming community that values diversity. Finally, let's look at how it's organized. Freemasonry has a clear structure: local lodges at the foundation, regional grand lodges overseeing groups within larger areas, and a central governing body that provides overall direction. As members progress through different degrees, they symbolically reflect personal development and ethical teachings. This structure promotes leadership, community building, and the enduring values of brotherhood and charity. All these aspects tie into the larger theme of how Freemasonry aims to shape individuals and communities through shared values and continuous growth. Let's explore the historical context of Freemasonry and how it developed in Europe. It all began in the late 16th and early 17th centuries, evolving from local stonemason guilds into a broader fraternity. This transformation was significant because it marked a shift from purely craft-based groups to organizations rooted in shared ideas and values. One of the most influential periods for Freemasonry was the Enlightenment. This era championed reason, individualism, and scientific inquiry, values that Freemasonry adopted and promoted. Many key figures during this time, including numerous Freemasons, embraced these principles, which in turn inspired social reform, civic responsibility, and the pursuit of knowledge. These Enlightenment ideals didn't just stay within the intellectual sphere. They had a profound impact on political thought and governance. Freemasonry became a space where ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity were fostered, inspiring various social movements. In fact, many Freemasons played pivotal roles in advocating for civil rights and democratic reforms, helping shape modern democratic societies and pushing forward social justice. So overall, Freemasonry's emergence during this period was closely linked to these broader cultural and intellectual shifts. It became a vehicle for promoting ideas that continue to influence our societies today. Now, moving on to slide 6, let's take a closer look at the relationship between Freemasonry and world leaders. This slide highlights how Freemasonry has historically been linked to influential figures across different nations. While some see it as a fraternal organization focused on moral and personal development, others suggest it has played a role behind the scenes in shaping global events. It's important to understand that many prominent leaders, from politicians to royalty, have been members or associated with Freemasonry at some point. This connection is often discussed in the context of how secret networks might influence policy and decision-making at the highest levels. As we continue, keep in mind that these links don't necessarily imply direct control, but they do highlight the organization's widespread reach and the curiosity surrounding its influence in world affairs. This theme ties back into our overall exploration of hidden networks and power structures that operate beneath the surface of global politics. Now, let's talk about some of the most influential U.S. presidents who were also Freemasons. First up is George Washington. As many of you know, he was a founding father and the very first president of the United States. But what you might not realize is that he was also a prominent Freemason. His involvement in Freemasonry helped shape his values, especially those of civic responsibility and brotherhood. These principles played a significant role in the birth of our nation, reflecting ideals of leadership, integrity, and service, values that still resonate in American political culture today. Moving forward, we have Franklin D. Roosevelt. He led the United States through some of its most challenging times, namely the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's leadership during these crises was marked by innovation and resilience. As a Freemason, he was guided by principles like perseverance and service, which influenced his bold New Deal policies. His ability to unify the country during such tumultuous times truly exemplifies how Masonic ideals can inspire commitment to the greater good. Lastly, there's Harry S. Truman. After Roosevelt's passing, Truman made some pivotal decisions that shaped the post-war world. He oversaw the implementation of the Marshall Plan and the creation of NATO, both crucial for Western recovery and unity during the Cold War. Truman's leadership was characterized by diplomacy and collaboration, values that align closely with Freemasonry. His actions helped foster international cooperation and stability, demonstrating how Freemason principles can extend beyond national borders to influence global peace and security. Overall, these presidents show us how Freemasonry's core values, leadership, integrity, service, and unity, can influence not just individual lives, but the course of history itself. Now, let's turn our attention to the role of kings and monarchs within Freemasonry. Starting with King Charles III, his accession to the throne actually represents a modern approach to monarchy. He emphasizes transparency and inclusivity, which are very much in line with contemporary values. His dedication to social causes and open dialogue reflects core Masonic principles, blending tradition with modern leadership. This shows how even in the royal world, Masonic ideals continue to influence how monarchs connect with their people and adapt to the changing times. Moving back a bit in history, King Frederick the Great of Prussia was a notable Freemason who played a key role in promoting Enlightenment ideals. He championed religious tolerance and was deeply committed to arts and philosophy, fostering a culture of intellectual growth. His leadership not only shaped Prussia, but also had a broader impact across Europe during the 18th century, encouraging progress and openness. Finally, it's important to recognize that Freemasonry has historically had a significant influence on European royal families. Many monarchs were initiated into Masonic lodges, and through these connections, they promoted ideas of brotherhood, social reform, and enlightenment. These associations often enhanced their public image, positioning them as enlightened rulers committed to progress and reform. Overall, Freemasonry has played a fascinating role in shaping the leadership and social values of European royalty, reinforcing the themes of brotherhood and enlightenment that run through our entire discussion. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the most influential Freemasons in history. These individuals have left a lasting impact across various fields, from politics and science to philosophy and the arts. Their membership in Freemasonry often reflects shared values of knowledge, fraternity, and the pursuit of truth. For example, figures like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin played significant roles in shaping the early foundations of their nations, and both were Freemasons. Similarly, scientists like Sir Isaac Newton and writers such as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart also found meaning and community through Freemasonry. Highlighting these personalities helps us understand how the fraternity has historically attracted some of the most influential minds. It also demonstrates how their ideas and achievements continue to resonate today. Connecting this to the overall theme, it underscores the idea that Freemasonry has been a catalyst for leadership, innovation, and cultural development throughout history. Now, let's explore some influential writers and philosophers who have shaped not only literature, but also the ideals of freedom and morality. First, we have Voltaire, a towering figure of the Enlightenment and a proud Freemason. He was a fierce advocate for freedom of expression and fiercely criticized religious intolerance. His literary works and his advocacy for civil liberties really helped pave the way for modern democratic principles, values like liberty and justice that continue to resonate today. Next, there's Mark Twain, another prominent Freemason, who used humor as a powerful tool to tackle societal issues. Through his witty storytelling in works like The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, he highlighted social injustices and racism. His ability to blend entertainment with serious social commentary reflects the core values of Freemasonry, moral responsibility, and a commitment to truth. And then we have Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, a key figure in German literature and a proud Freemason as well. His works, such as Faust and The Sorrows of Young Werther, delve deeply into human emotion and our connection with nature. Goethe's contributions to Weimar classicism and his exploration of human experience have left a lasting mark on literature and the arts, helping to shape Romanticism and expand our understanding of human nature. So in essence, these figures, Voltaire, Twain, and Goethe, show us how writers and philosophers can inspire change, challenge societal norms, and deepen our understanding of morality and freedom, all while contributing to the broader themes of enlightenment and human progress. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key revolutionary figures connected to Freemasonry and how their beliefs and networks played a significant role in shaping history. First, we have Simón Bolívar, often called the liberator of South America. Bolívar was a pivotal figure in the struggle for independence across the continent. His leadership helped unite several nations and overthrow colonial powers. Interestingly, he was heavily influenced by Freemasonry's core ideals, such as liberty and equality, which inspired his vision for democratic governance in the region. Moving on to Thomas Jefferson, another prominent Freemason, who played a crucial role in founding the United States. Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence, a document that eloquently expressed the colony's desire for freedom and human rights. His Masonic beliefs in liberty, fraternity, and equality deeply influenced the principles embedded within that declaration, helping to shape the very foundation of American democracy. Finally, we have Giuseppe Garibaldi, a key figure in Italy's unification process. Garibaldi leveraged his connections with Freemasonry to rally support for unifying the country. His military campaigns ultimately brought together various separate states into a unified Kingdom of Italy. This achievement not only symbolized national identity, but also embodied the democratic ideals that Freemasonry champions. So, what ties all these figures together is how Freemasonry's values and networks helped inspire and organize revolutionary change across different regions and eras. Their stories highlight the broader influence of these shared ideals in shaping modern nations and democratic principles. Now, let's take a closer look at the impact of Freemasonry on society. Throughout history, Freemasonry has played a significant role in shaping social and cultural developments. Its influence can be seen in the promotion of ideals like brotherhood, charity, and moral integrity, which have contributed to community building and social cohesion. Many prominent figures in various fields, be it politics, arts, or sciences, have been members, and their involvement often helped foster progress and innovation. It's important to recognize that while Freemasonry promotes positive values, its secretive nature has also led to speculation and conspiracy theories about its true influence. However, the core idea remains that Freemasonry has aimed to uplift society through personal development and charitable work. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding the societal impact of Freemasonry helps us appreciate how influential organizations can shape cultural norms and values over time. It's a reminder of the power of shared ideals and the importance of community in driving positive change. On this slide, we see how Freemasonry played a significant role in shaping nations, especially during their founding moments. It championed Enlightenment ideals like liberty, equality, and fraternity, values that are fundamental to modern democracies. Many of the key founders, including prominent presidents and leaders, were Freemasons themselves. They incorporated these principles into the very fabric of their governments, helping to build structures that promote unity and shared purpose. When we look at the American and French revolutions, Freemasonry's influence becomes even clearer. Its members, who were often leaders in these movements, fostered revolutionary ideas rooted in liberty and equality. They created a network that supported revolutionary thinking, organized efforts, and helped spread ideas for change. This network not only shaped political discourse, but also energized grassroots movements pushing for independence and reform. Finally, Freemasonry's impact on democracy is profound. Many Freemasons actively contributed to democratic movements, advocating for civil rights and governance systems that respect individual freedoms. Their collective efforts helped shape the democratic principles we uphold today, principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, emphasizing the importance of personal freedom and collective decision-making. Overall, Freemasonry's influence helped lay the groundwork for the democratic world we live in now. Now, let's explore how Freemasonry has made lasting contributions to the arts and education. When we look at architecture and arts, Freemasonry has really promoted core ideals like symmetry, harmony, and moral philosophy. You can see this influence in many civic buildings and monuments, where symbols and rituals inspired craftsmanship that reflects Enlightenment values and a sense of communal identity. It's about blending artistry with moral and philosophical ideas to create spaces that inspire and elevate society. Moving on to music and literature, Freemasonry's influence is equally profound. Many composers and writers drew inspiration from themes like enlightenment, brotherhood, and moral virtue. These ideals fueled creative exploration and helped foster a culture that values intellectual growth and artistic expression, things we see throughout history in their work. And finally, Freemasonry's impact on education has been quite significant. They've established schools, scholarship programs, and promoted literacy, all driven by a desire to spread knowledge and enlightenment. Their efforts have contributed to civic responsibility and personal development, shaping the cultural and intellectual landscapes of many societies across time. So, in essence, Freemasonry's contributions extend beyond symbols and rituals. They've helped shape our built environment, our arts, and our educational systems, all of which play a vital role in fostering community, knowledge, and moral growth. Now, let's turn our attention to some of the controversies surrounding Freemasonry. Throughout its long history, Freemasonry has often been at the center of public debate and suspicion. Some critics have accused the organization of secret agendas or undue influence in political and financial spheres. These allegations tend to stem from misunderstandings or fears about the organization's rituals and secrecy. However, it's important to remember that much of this controversy is fueled by myths and misinformation. While transparency varies among different lodges, most Masonic groups emphasize moral development and community service. So, these controversies are a part of the broader conversation about public perception versus the organization's true values. Understanding this helps us see how Freemasonry navigates public scrutiny while striving to uphold its principles. Now, let's turn our attention to some of the criticisms and conspiracy theories surrounding Freemasonry. Many of these ideas stem from the fraternity's secretive nature, which has historically led people to believe it operates in the shadows, influencing global events behind the scenes. However, in reality, Freemasonry primarily promotes moral values, community service, and personal development. Members come from all walks of life and pursue diverse goals that are often completely unrelated to the fraternity itself. Moving on, a significant chapter in this story is the anti-Masonic movement that arose in the early 19th century. This movement was a reaction to what many saw as the secrecy and elitism of Freemasonry. Critics accused Masons of engaging in political and religious conspiracies, which fueled social tensions and even led to the formation of anti-Masonic political parties. These tensions had a real impact, diminishing the public image and influence of Freemasonry during that period. Today, modern conspiracy theories continue to paint Freemasonry as a secret cabal, manipulating global affairs from behind the scenes. But it's important to understand that these theories are often fueled by mistrust and misunderstanding. They tend to reflect societal fears rather than any factual evidence. Ultimately, these myths and stigmas distort the true nature of Freemasonry, which is much more about moral growth and community involvement than shadowy plots. So, when we hear these stories, it's worth questioning their origins and considering the broader context. Now, let's turn our attention to the internal struggles that can arise within Freemasonry. One of the main issues is conflicts between different Masonic orders. These often stem from differences in ideology, varying practices, and disputes over jurisdiction. Such disagreements can lead to fragmentation, which challenges the unity of the fraternity. And of course, this fragmentation can influence how the public perceives Freemasonry, sometimes making it seem less cohesive than it truly is. Another key point involves leadership disputes. These often emerge because of differing interpretations of ritual practices, governance structures, and the overall direction of the organization. When leaders disagree on these foundational elements, it can cause divisions and even the formation of rival Masonic groups. This fragmentation impacts the stability of the organization and can confuse members and outsiders alike. Finally, there's the ongoing tension between Masonic secrecy and calls for transparency. Freemasonry has long valued secrecy as a way to preserve traditions and rituals, but this secrecy can also lead to suspicion, fueling conspiracy theories and skepticism. Critics argue that greater transparency might help build public trust, but others worry that it could undermine the core values and unique practices of the fraternity. In essence, these internal struggles reflect broader challenges of maintaining unity and credibility within a complex, multifaceted organization like Freemasonry. Now, let's take a closer look at the legacy of the Freemasons and what their history tells us. Throughout centuries, they've been seen as custodians of secret knowledge, builders of grand structures, and influential figures behind the scenes. Their influence extends beyond just architecture. It's woven into the fabric of many societies and institutions we know today. What's particularly fascinating is how their principles of brotherhood, moral integrity, and community service have persisted over time. These values have shaped their actions and the way they've interacted with the wider world. As we explore this legacy, keep in mind how it ties back to the overall theme of our presentation, how secret societies and their histories can influence modern organizations and cultures. The Freemasons, with their rich history, exemplify this interplay between tradition and influence, showing us that their impact is still felt today in subtle but significant ways. Now, let's explore the lasting contributions Freemasons have made to governance, particularly in shaping modern democratic systems. Their legacy is deeply rooted in promoting Enlightenment values like liberty, equality, and fraternity. These principles didn't just influence ideas, they laid the foundation for constitutional governance, civil rights, and the rule of law that we see today. Their impact is evident worldwide, inspiring leadership and encouraging civic engagement across nations. Moving on to the influence on the Constitution, it's important to recognize that many founding fathers were Freemasons. Their involvement helped embed core Enlightenment ideals into the very fabric of the U.S. Constitution. This ensured that the document was a framework that prioritized democratic governance, individual rights, and social justice, principles that remain vital today. Lastly, Freemasons have historically been strong advocates for civil rights. Influential figures within the fraternity championed the causes of equality and social justice, contributing to progressive reforms over the centuries. Their efforts helped lay the groundwork for many human rights movements, reflecting those core values of liberty, fraternity, and justice that are central to both Freemasonry and our democratic ideals. All of these contributions highlight how Freemasonry's principles have shaped not just history, but the very systems of governance that uphold fairness and freedom worldwide. As we look at how Freemasonry remains relevant today, it's clear that modern Freemasonry has evolved to reflect the values of the 21st century. It emphasizes community service, personal growth, and living ethically, principles that resonate strongly in today's society. The focus on inclusion and charitable work helps keep Freemasonry connected to contemporary issues and diverse communities. We also see this relevance reflected in the involvement of prominent modern figures, leaders in politics, business, and entertainment, who are members of Freemasonry. Their participation highlights how Freemasonry continues to influence societal values, promote philanthropy, and nurture leadership skills that shape our culture today. Furthermore, Freemasonry's impact isn't just historical. It actively contributes to society through charitable initiatives, advocacy for civil liberties, and efforts to foster social cohesion. Its core principles of ethics and community service still inspire ethical leadership and collective responsibility. All of these aspects demonstrate that Freemasonry remains a vital part of modern society, adapting to new challenges while maintaining its foundational values. It continues to influence and shape the ethical and social landscape we navigate every day. Now, let's turn our attention to some compelling case studies of notable Freemasons. As we explore these examples, keep in mind how their achievements and contributions often reflect the values and principles that Freemasonry promotes, things like integrity, service, and the pursuit of knowledge. These stories help us see how Freemasons have made a significant impact across various fields and eras. By understanding their journeys, we can better appreciate the influence of Freemasonry beyond the lodge. So, as we go through these case studies, think about the broader themes of leadership, community service, and personal development that tie into the overall message of this presentation. Let's take a closer look at some notable Freemasons and their impactful roles in history. First, we have Benjamin Franklin. Not only was he one of America's founding fathers, but he was also deeply committed to Enlightenment values, education, and civic responsibility. His Masonic principles helped shape his diplomatic efforts and contributed significantly to the formation of the United States. Franklin's blend of personal vision and the fraternity's collective progress truly exemplifies how Freemasonry can influence broader societal change. Moving on, Winston Churchill stands out as a symbol of leadership during one of the most challenging times in modern history, World War II. As a Freemason, Churchill demonstrated exceptional resilience and strategic foresight. His inspiring speeches rallied the British people and helped sustain morale, while his steadfast resolve and commitment to democracy played a crucial role in securing Allied victory. Churchill's leadership reflects how Freemasonry's values can underpin strong, decisive action in moments of crisis. Lastly, we have Andrew Johnson, the 17th President of the United States. His presidency was marked by the tumultuous Reconstruction era, a time when the nation was trying to heal and reunite after the Civil War. Johnson, as a Freemason, promoted leniency towards the South, aiming to foster reconciliation. However, his policies faced heavy criticism and eventually led to his impeachment. This highlights the complexities and challenges leaders face when balancing unity and justice during unstable times. Overall, these profiles show how Freemasonry has played a role in shaping influential leaders, each responding to their unique circumstances with values like integrity, resilience, and civic duty. It's a reminder that the fraternity's principles often extend beyond individual lives, influencing broader historical trajectories. On this slide, we're exploring the remarkable achievements and the historical context of Freemasonry. First, when we think about notable Freemasons like George Washington and Franklin D. Roosevelt, it's clear they played key roles in shaping U.S. history. Their Masonic values, specifically brotherhood and civic duty, weren't just abstract principles. They influenced important decisions that supported democracy and social progress. This connection between Freemasonry and American ideals became even more evident during pivotal moments in our history. Moving on to the global stage, prominent Freemasons such as George Washington and Winston Churchill also left their mark on international politics. Their shared values of liberty and collaboration fostered diplomatic relationships and influenced governance worldwide. These ideals helped shape democratic movements and contributed to peace efforts, demonstrating how Freemasonry's principles extend beyond national borders. And finally, when we look at humanitarian efforts, Freemasons like Washington and Roosevelt again stood out. Washington's leadership in establishing American independence set a powerful example of civic responsibility. Later, Roosevelt's New Deal programs aimed to address poverty during the Great Depression, highlighting a deep-rooted commitment within Freemasonry to societal welfare and humanitarian causes. Overall, these examples show that Freemasonry has played a significant role, not only in shaping American history, but also in fostering global diplomacy and humanitarian progress. Their values continue to resonate today, reinforcing the enduring connection between Masonic ideals and the pursuit of a better society. As we come to the final point on this slide, I want to emphasize the idea of the hidden hand of history. What does that mean for us? Well, throughout our journey, we've seen how past events, decisions, and even unintended consequences shape the present. Sometimes, these influences aren't immediately obvious, but they're always at work behind the scenes. It's like an invisible guiding force that subtly steers outcomes and trends over time. Recognizing this helps us understand why certain patterns recur and why change can be so challenging. It connects to our overall theme, that understanding history's unseen influences is crucial for making informed decisions today. By acknowledging this hidden hand, we can better anticipate future developments and navigate the complexities of our environment with more insight. Now, let's explore how Freemasonry has played a significant role in shaping history. Throughout the centuries, it has influenced many prominent figures, presidents, kings, and leaders, who shared core values like brotherhood, liberty, and enlightenment. These principles weren't just ideals. They fueled social reforms, promoted democratic ideals, and sparked cultural advancements that have helped shape the society we live in today. It's important to recognize that Freemasonry's impact isn't always visible on the surface, but its influence runs deep in the development of modern social and political structures. Its emphasis on brotherhood and equality continues to inspire movements around the world, advocating for civil rights, governance reforms, and community building. This influence on leadership highlights a crucial point. Transparency and ethical governance are vital. By understanding the historical alliances and values that Freemasonry champions, future leaders can make more principled decisions. Such understanding fosters unity and progress, ensuring that the lessons of the past inform better leadership for the future. In summary, Freemasonry's contributions, both historical and ongoing, are far-reaching. Its legacy continues to shape our social fabric, and recognizing this helps us appreciate how values like brotherhood and enlightenment are vital to leadership and societal development. Moving forward, this awareness can guide us toward more ethical, inclusive, and enlightened leadership that benefits society as a whole. Now, let's reflect on the dual nature of Freemasonry. At its core, it strikes a delicate balance between secrecy and openness. The secret rituals and confidential discussions foster a strong sense of camaraderie and personal growth among members. But at the same time, Freemasonry promotes public principles like enlightenment and fraternity, which influence society as a whole. This combination shows how hidden networks can subtly shape historical developments, often behind the scenes, but with lasting impact. Moving on, it's important to recognize that the connections between Freemasonry and influential figures throughout history are complex and intriguing. This underscores the need for further study and deeper understanding. Exploring these relationships can reveal how secret societies may have quietly influenced societal change and cultural evolution over time. Gaining insight into these hidden ties helps us appreciate the broader role Freemasonry has played in shaping our world. Finally, as we look ahead, Freemasonry faces a changing world. To remain relevant, it must adapt by fostering inclusivity and encouraging community engagement. The core principles of brotherhood and moral integrity are timeless and can serve as guiding lights for future generations. By doing so, Freemasonry can continue to contribute positively, ensuring its legacy endures amidst the rapid societal shifts we see today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your support and collaboration throughout this journey. It truly means a lot to me and to everyone involved in the Masonic Audiobook Library project. Your enthusiasm and input have been invaluable in bringing this vision to life. As we wrap up, I hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the importance of sharing knowledge and fostering community through this library. It's about more than just audiobooks. It's about building connections, preserving traditions, and inspiring growth. Once again, thank you for being part of this. Your support helps us continue to grow and serve more people. I look forward to what we can achieve together moving forward.